Hi, my name is Ruth Marquise with Keller Williams Real Estate, and this is video one of the 6 phases of buying a home. All right, the first phase is the pre-approval phase. Pre-approvals are something that a bank uses, a piece of paper that you submit with your offer when you are looking to buy a home. It shows the seller that, this person's not just a person just walking around saying they want to buy a home and they're not qualified yet. It qualifies. The bank qualifies you. The lender, talk to your lender, to your agent about what lender that you should use. That's that. You just go to the lender. Now, how long does it take to get pre-approved? Well, that can be 20 minutes. If you have been working and you've always paid your bills on time, your credit's great, and you have money saved, it can take you 20 minutes to be pre-approved, or it can take you 2 years to be pre-approved. It's all up to you. If you've never worked a job before, if you don't have a job, if you haven't fixed your credit, if you haven't done certain things, it could take you 2 years. But most likely it'll take you 3 months to get yourself from where you are to where you got to go, unless your credit is like beyond me. Like, I don't know what to tell you right there. But yeah, if you're serious, if you're ready to spend the money, if you're dead serious about it, a lot of people take 3 months to get themselves together. The 4 factors of a pre-approval: one is your credit. Of course, the bank needs to know that you're trustworthy, that you will pay your bills on time, that you will pay this mortgage on time. Essentially, the bank is buying the house, for you, and using the house as collateral for the money they've given to you. Okay, so they feel a little bit safer now. They know that they have a house that's valued at the amount that they gave you the mortgage for. But the bank does not want the home. The bank wants you to pay the mortgage. They make money when you pay, not when you don't pay. So they want somebody that has great credit, a great track record, and your past is basically dictating your future. So you want to fix up your credit. You want to do anything you can do. If secure credit cards, I have a great one if you want to know about one. And you want one that reports to all 3 credit bureaus. And I want to talk to you about 3 credit scores that are very important. People ask, what does your score have to be? I always say a 580, because FHA, it's your first time buying a home. Those kind of programs allow a minimum of 580, but it can't be a 580 and you make $20,000. It can't be a 580 and you have a whole bunch of debt. It can be, then the lender will require you to make, if you made more money, like let's just say you made $30,000 and you have a 580 credit score, and you don't have a lot of debt, that looks better to a lender. So it's multiple things, not just the credit score. So they're looking at more than just the credit score. How many collections you have and all that stuff. It just depends. What lender? Some want you to pay all, and some will allow you to have some, and some will say medical always is they don't really care about that one. So a 580 will be one score you can have. Another score you can have and get a house is a 640, and that will get you in a lot of the grant programs. Grant programs in my city, Philadelphia, they come around every so often. There's a time period. Sometimes you have to already be in a deal, you have to already have a house, you have to already be under contract to get these grants. They go like that, and it's not easy to find a grant program, but it's possible. And you have to be willing to wait. If you want to move in right away, then maybe you just want to put up the money yourself. There's other things like seller's assist that your agent, if you have a great agent, I always get seller's assist. I don't know how, but I just do. I don't know. It won't be always the case, but it just all depends on the price and the seller and the circumstances. Another score that you can have is a 660, and that will help you get into a program. It's like a repayment program. It's not so much a grant, but they help you with your down payment. They help you with your closing costs or whatever they can help you with, and you don't have to come out a lot of from your pocket, but you have to have a 660 credit score. So those are the 3 scores I would say you can do, and I think that program is called PHFA if you live in my city, in Pennsylvania, right? So the second factor is your work history. You have to work at a job or have income You don't necessarily have to work at a job. You can have Social Security. You can have child support. Whatever your income says, it has to be a certain amount that they can see, hey, you've been getting this for some time. But if you have 2 years of it, that would be great. If you actually worked several different jobs, it's not always a deal breaker, just depending if you have 2 whole years work history, if you're in a related field, like all other things, like if you make a whole lot of money, if you went from a lower job to a higher paying job, if it's justifiable, they will accept it. So I will have to get into that into detail later on in another video. So savings, 6 to 7%. That's $6,000 to $7,000 for every $100,000 that you want, to buy a house with. So we always say, hey, have a minimum of $5,000 to get started, and then we can start looking for houses, and from there you're saving all your money, all your paychecks from then on, and then that usually works. If you want more, then if you want a higher price point, then you have to save more money, of course. We also have seller's assist, 6% seller's assist. The seller can help you in your closing costs. So that helps a lot. Even with the $5,000, that's with seller's assist. Like, you have to get it. So you will only offer on properties that accept the seller's assist part. So sometimes they don't give you the full 6, they give you 3%. So that's a conversation for another day. You can also get a gift. You can get a gift, or you can get a grant. You can do the repayment plan, all of that good stuff when it comes to coming up with money. So and a lot of people save their income taxes. So if you want to find out where to get money from, those are the places. Debt. You cannot have $90,000 of student loans and think that you're going to get a house and your income is low. No, they're looking at all of that. They're going to come up with a number and say, oh, 1% of $90,000 is $900. So you have to, that's part of your debt ratio, $900. If you don't make like $5,000, then guess what? That's not going to work. I don't know what those numbers are. Your mortgage lender will tell you, but that's how it usually works. So you can have everything perfect and your debt is crazy, you're not getting a house right now. You'll have to reduce your debt. Those are like killers. I'm buying a car, buying a house. So a new car, you can't just buy a car after you get in the closing. Like, you would not, like, don't offer on a house and then buy a car. That's a no-no. That's a big no-no. You actually, when you're buying a house, you want to tell your lender everything you're doing with your money. Don't have a whole bunch of cash going in there. These are just tips to keep you from not closing. Bankruptcy, you have to wait for 2 years. Let's say, so those are the 4 factors, right? And then the paperwork that you have to bring 2 years of your income taxes, 2 years of your W-2s, 2 months of pay stubs, and 2 months of bank statements proving that you have the money that you say you have. And those are what you need to get your pre-approval. Pre-qualified, easy. Pre-approval, more work, right? So that's the paperwork part of it. You will have